Oh, yeah, you did that code thing. Hello, everybody. My name is Master Chen.
My name is BGM.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
And you are either watching or listening to Greynoise.
Or smelling.
Sorry about that, by the way.
Smell-o-vision. All right. All right, everybody. Welcome again to Greynoise, the Information Security Podcast. This is episode 124. We are here the Friday before Christmas at 7:30, live at the Sin Shop Hackerspace in Las Vegas, Nevada, or technically Henderson. The address is 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. We are still the Las Vegas Valley Hackerspace. Go to sinshop.org for more information on us, or for more information on the shop, which is also inclusively us.
And things adjacent to us.
Yes,
as well.
and things adjacent to us as well, like this table. So for information on the appointments or the classes and stuff that we do, we just finished the Fozzie Hour. Go to meetup.com/synshop. Remember, that's SYNSHOP. And for information on us, the podcast, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.se. Okay, so a couple of... do you guys have any announcements before we get into the meat and potatoes?
I do not.
Tater meat.
Tater, no.
This is the last podcast before Christmas.
Yes, this is the last podcast before Christmas, and I just realized earlier this afternoon that we usually don't do a Christmas podcast, but that's because for the last couple of years, Christmas has kind of ended up on the end of the week. Like it was either a Friday or a Thursday, and it was just really low not volume.
Attendance.
Yeah, there you go. Attendance. Attendance is the thank you there.
I'm here to help.
Mr. Satchel's on point.
I do it. It's in the bag.
I don't know. I'm grabbing words randomly from whatever. Okay, so cool thing. Actually, really unexpected. Okay, so whenever I get published in 2600, we know that happened in the last issue. I usually, you get a T-shirt. If you're an author, you get a T-shirt, and then they send you on your merry way. Sometimes you get a year subscription, but since I'm lifetime, I get something else, right? That's where I opt for the T-shirt or a hoodie or whatnot. Yeah. Well, I already got paid for the paid column that I did, the Hacker Perspective, and so I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's done. It's a done deal. That's great. I'm happy. Well, there was a package in the mail today from Middle Island, New York, where 2600 is, and I was like, oh. Like I wasn't expecting it at all, and they gave me 3 copies of the magazine. Now you guys know when I'm published, I buy like practically the whole rack at Barnes and Noble, and then I distribute to my friends and whatnot. So I was like, okay, cool. I've given a copy to my ma. I've given a copy to the shop actually. So I called it good, right? And so when I got the package today, I was like, oh.
More of those.
Well, more of these. Yeah, exactly. Which isn't, no, don't get me wrong. It isn't a bad thing. It was just unexpected. Yeah. And maybe 2600 mentioned that somewhere in publishing that column that I would get this, but I maybe overlooked it and wasn't expecting it. So I'd like to give these away to people in the audience. Who is interested? 2600, for those who don't know, is a hacker magazine. It's called 2600 The Hacker Quarterly. It started in 1984. As a publication really dealing more with phone phreaking, because that was really the technology that was commercially available at the time. You had payphones, you had tone generators. That was the style of hacking back then, I guess, or the main style of hacking.
One of our first hacks was a telephone hack.
Oh, yeah, that was...
we did it during a lightning storm.
Yeah, we made a lineman's handset, or beige box. And the first time we tested it out, we went to the outside of my house and we were plugging it into the box. And for some reason, we decided to do it while it was raining.
For one day it rained in the last 20 years.
Yeah. And so as I was plugging it in, I got shocked. We did have that on video, but it was on some old 8mm film or whatever it was.
Reel to reel.
Yeah. So there was video proof. I don't think that's anywhere anymore.
Remember those times we used to go around the Las Vegas Valley and Henderson Valley with a mini disc player and record our adventures?
Yeah, that was cool too. In fact, I still have the mini disc player. I tried to sell it on Letgo. And guess what? Nobody's gonna buy it for $5.
Everybody's like, "Nah, you hold on." They were
like, "Yeah," they're like, "Oh,
don't let it go.
Cool.
Don't let it go."
Early 2000s technology. So anyway, I do have 2 extra. Would anybody like it? I was going to try to do like a trivia thing. Cool. Mr. Mule, that's what I'm going to be calling you now while we're on the show. Mr. Mule, you got one for yourself. I was going to do a trivia kind of thing about it, but tonight, again, because of Christmas, our audience is kind of, or at least our live audience is kind of sparse. So thank you, everybody, for being here.
What time did you get here today? What time did you get to the shop today?
So I got here at 2, actually.
Was there anybody here?
There were like a few people.
Oh, I was going to say, you could have just taped the magazine under like random chairs.
Oh, you get a magazine, and you get a magazine,
and that's it, because that's all the magazines.
Yeah, and not everybody gets a magazine.
And you get to share his magazine, and you get to...
So, okay, so we'll get what, actually, if you two back there are interested, I'd like to give this to you, because this is your second time at the shop. Yeah. And so let me explain a little bit more about what the magazine is. Okay, so again, 2600 was, or it still is, it's a publication that started in 1984. And they were talking back then about mainly phone phreaking, again, because that was a type of hacking that was going on back in the day. But they were talking about tone generators. And as that went from the 80s to the 90s, they started talking about, of course, terminal servers, telnet hacks, and things that you could do at a computer, really early, like HTML 1 and 2.0 type of hacks and browsing, like index directories. And just, you can see through the evolution of the magazine just kind of where our community has gone, where our community has gone as far as like growth and kind of where we're going in the future. So, yes, I will give that to you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. I have a lifetime membership, and now they give me the whole year in PDF format at the end of the year. So I have hard copies and everything.
And soft copies and middle copies.
And it's DRM free, so I can actually share that with you guys.
Shrine. He liked candles.
So anyway,
and the candles are actually made from old 2600 magazines.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's very green, Chan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's totally recyclable and everything. So again, just unexpected, nice unexpected surprise.
Surprise!
Kind of a Christmas present that I can give to somebody else.
It's pretty cool.
So, all right. So one thing that I really wanted to bring up today, and it was really cool that the Fozzie Hour was talking about finance. Finance at large, like having a savings account, having an emergency fund, 401k, a Roth IRA. He was talking about all that stuff, but we didn't get to talk about what he really wanted to dig into, which was options and derivatives. Which that subject you could talk about for days.
Right.
But it was a really good Fozzie Hour. Something that we really don't talk about in the hacker community specifically. But if you could think like a hacker, I'm sure you'll find the leverage that he was discussing, he was talking about. Yeah. But it does kind of go into what I wanted to talk about today, which was the volatility in the Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin currency, or if you want to call it a currency, but
it's a commodity.
Well, that's what we'd like. That's what I'd like to debate today. So
I think the whole purpose. Okay, I'll just let you talk.
Right.
I'll just let you talk.
So I think you're both wrong.
You're right.
Okay, hang on. Let's get to the intro of this, and then we'll go ahead and open to the debate. So yes, that's what we will be debating today. So now I want to first preface this by saying, no, I'm not a Bitcoin expert, but I am invested in a few currencies, so I'm paying attention to it. Okay, and I know a little bit about how the back end, the technology like blockchain works, and I understand that part. Okay. Now, when it comes to what's happened this week, that's where the debate comes in. Because this week, Bitcoin went from $19,886, according to Coinbase, down to its lowest point at about $11,800 and change, or 500 and change. And it's kind of on a steady rise again.
Still over 10K, but that's a huge drop.
Yeah, it's about
Huge
25% actually. Well, it was a little bit more than that, but
Yeah.
It's right now about
Wait, you said from 19 down to 11, right? That's almost
almost, yeah.
50%. That's like maybe
Right.
40, 35%.
Right. Well, now it's back up to about 14,000. So the time from earlier in the week to now is only about 25% or something of that nature, right? So the reason why I want to bring it up to the show today is it's heavily debated whether it is a commodity, or is it a currency, or is it just a stock, or what's the true valuation of Bitcoin? Now, I will say that I think, well, I know for a fact, Bitcoin and blockchain are different. They're two different things that are together in this particular space. You're looking at me all weird.
No. Go ahead.
So let's start talking about your different thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, are you guys making fun of me on chat or something?
No.
You guys are looking at me.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Actually.
No. So it's a commodity. Bitcoin is a commodity. It's not a currency because it's not based upon something that's stable, and you can't be stable with something like Bitcoin. I gave you
service.
Yeah. I gave you an example in chat earlier today, where I was saying I want to buy this double cheeseburger for one Bitcash, one Bitbuck, and this guy would be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, the currency value has changed. It now costs 3 Bitbucks for this double cheeseburger." And you're like, "Yeah, but your menu says 1 Bitbuck," and the guy's
So
like,
it
"I know
does."
what the menu says."
So, well, with the volatility in the market, it's really hard to place it as something that you can use as fair value trade. Like you can't, like you just mentioned, you can't buy a burger with it when the price is changing.
Which doesn't make it a currency.
Well, at least a stable one.
I see more of a trade service. It's able to make momentary trades between people is what it is. It's the value of Bitcoin is that you and I can make a monetary transfer.
Yes, and it is decentralized. You don't have to go to a bank to do this. You don't have to get a money order. And I think another thing too with cryptocurrencies at large is that if I wanted to send money to family members around the world, I just send them the money without having to go through like a wire or anything like that. And it's just, I'm sending it through. I'm changing it from U.S. dollars to cryptocurrency, sending the cryptocurrency. They exchange it to their country's currency, and then boom, now they have it with minimal transaction fees.
Hey, yeah, you remember that Bitcoin you sent me 3 years ago? I just went to cash it in. I'm rich, motherfucker!
Yeah, but now I feel bad for the people who were like earlier this week,
Yeah.
like, yeah, man, this thing's a gravy train. It's always going to go up.
Yeah.
And like it tanked.
I don't,
No,
does
it can only
anybody
go up.
actually believe that it's always going to go up?
Well, it has to be on a gradient going up, but the volatility is very, very loud.
Yeah.
And so, it's always going to be on an incline. But where it is day to day is going to be so volatile. That same incline can be drawn between like $2 and $2,000 today. And, that it could be that volatile.
Yeah.
And so, but it's always going to be on an incline increasing. You just don't exactly know what the averaged value of that coin is at any moment. It's just because of the volatility.
It's basically you got to make sure you don't puss out and dump all your Bitcoin too early. Like, oh my God, I'm losing money. I need to dump everything. And then it shoots up.
Well,
The image I got in my head was like a car that's running out of gas, like where it'll stutter and stop and then it'll go again.
Sure.
Then it'll stutter and stop and then it'll go again.
Yeah, that's really old type of car.
I've been there.
Speed buggy.
So do we believe anybody who says it will always go up, though? Like, and I'm talking about in general, like markets. Like the stock market doesn't always go up. There's ebbs and flows, and we're saying that this is just one of those low times.
Well, it's the overall value of Bitcoin will always go up just because of demand and that Bitcoin are being destroyed. They can only be mined at certain rates, and there's going to be an end to that. And so,
Right, there's a finite amount,
Right,
which is
and-
21 million or billion.
right. Well, now
Million.
also
Million.
is like you're starting to get down to what can a Bitcoin be done to one Satoshi is 1/1000th of a Bitcoin, right? So what's 1/1000th of $20? So you can only the smallest denominator that you can have in Bitcoin now is $20 at 20,000, right? So the how to be able to trade small amounts of money, like you said, you can't buy a hamburger. Well, how do you get change back for 20 bit for one Satoshi, right? If that's worth $20, and you can't make change lower than a $20 return.
So how do you think they're going to remedy something like that?
That's some real good questions.
that still gonna be,
Well,
yeah.
that's what's going to determine if that value is going to continue to incline. Because as it loses that smaller granular value of being able to do those smaller granular values, it's not going to be as valuable.
Yeah.
So, Chen, you believe that we live in a universe constrained by the laws of physics, right?
I would like to argue yes.
Okay. Well, because in the laws of physics, there's only one thing that's always increasing. There's only one thing, and it's
Entropy.
entropy, not Bitcoin.
Well, by entropy, Bitcoin will increase.
in that Bitcoin's very chaotic.
Yeah, and that it's routinely destroyed by certain transactions.
Now, what do you mean by routinely destroyed? Like, what part of Bitcoin is destroyed? Or like,
Well, just because people lose Bitcoin and because it disappears into the ether.
oh,
and
right. So,
you
like, they forget their Bitcoin wallet or how to log into it, or
Yeah.
they forget that they have it in cold storage on a hard drive and it's
Yeah.
just gone.
or government takes possession of it.
Yeah, so that's not recoverable at all.
Well, I don't know. When they took Kim.com's Bitcoin, they later auctioned it off. The FBI did. They had at one time the FBI had the single largest store of Bitcoins.
And they auctioned that shit
known
off?
store over that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have, but okay.
Boy, the government should invest it in, huh?
Well, no, I don't know. Look, yeah, I understand. They're auctioning off somebody that they've, or something, some property of somebody that they've apprehended and whatnot. I get that. You know, they auction off cars,
And yachts.
they auction off yachts, houses, et cetera, et cetera. I get that. But wow, I didn't know that was the current
They
state.
got to keep the lights on somehow.
I know.
So
Yeah.
you told us at the beginning of this topic that the value of Bitcoin dropped a lot this past week, which is why you wanted to talk about it. Do you know exactly why it dropped?
Well, I think Vic might have more information on that, but I do know that there's Okay, so a couple of things. There's the hard fork, which there was Bitcoin, and then now there's Bitcoin Cash. So that was the hard fork that pretty much split the currency into two.
Bitcoin Cash is not the same as BitCash, right? Because I've
That's
seen
correct.
a
That's correct.
bunch of different things with Bit and then Cash and then various things in the middle.
Yeah, there's a-
Cash.
There's a lot of shit out there.
So go check
People,
your-
please do your homework.
Go check some of your wallets. If you had Bitcoin in some wallets, when that fork happened, you'll now have corresponding value of Bitcash.
Right. So
Oh damn.
now that's if you had that, like, I believe in cold storage or like some method, right? If you had it through Coinbase or another type of exchange app, they aren't honoring that split.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the funny thing is, okay, so yes, there's the hard fork, but there's also that allegedly, the CEO of Coinbase has had maybe some insider trading allegations against him, where he knew that the app was going to be accepting Bitcoin Cash, and kind of shared that information with some of his friends, I believe. I'll get that source. But that's another thing too, is right when Coinbase started accepting Bitcoin Cash, and they found out about that insider trading, that's when I started to see both Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin just start to tank. And it hasn't been the same so far.
Well, if you knew that fork was going to happen, and then you dumped a good sizable chunk of your Bitcoin, that's what's going to cause the crash.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I totally understand that. And there's another story, too, about the creator of Litecoin selling off all of his...
about that.
Yeah, I'll pull that up, too, but that's also in the news. We do have something from David E. Grayson in the live stream channel, which, by the way, guys, if you're not in our Slack, PM us on Twitter or find a way for us to get you an invite to Slack, because we have our chat there now.
Yeah, there might be more ways coming in the future too.
Oh, we can talk about that. We can't talk about that. Okay.
Are you kidding me?
All right. So David E. Grayson is saying, and this is going back to the Satoshis.
It's $1 million.
$1 million.
So was that 10 million?
Uh,
Was that 10 million?
I can't math right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so it's
1/8.
10 millionth of a coin. Okay, that's much more fractional. Cool.
So it'll cost $1 once Bitcoin hits 10 million.
Okay. So currently, though, you can still have that
It's
fraction where
right.
it's under $20. Is what we're saying, right?
So Bitcoin is the Amazon stock and Satoshi is the penny stock.
They're kind of pegged to each other since it's a fraction of the one.
Well, we have
Oh, here we go.
we have a community mic here. Maybe for some clarification.
Yeah, so a Satoshi is 1/10 millionth of a Bitcoin. So it's still a really small amount, much less than a fraction of a penny right now. But if you actually try to go around spending Satoshis, you'll get hit with transaction fees right now. People are paying $20 or $30 for simple transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain right now. So that's the limiting factor. And the hope is that the Lightning Network will allow people to make very tiny transactions for Satoshis.
Wow.
Thank you.
What am I missing on Satoshis? Why would something that small be worth messing around with?
Well, what it allows you to do is be able to fractionalize a Bitcoin. A Satoshi is a fraction of the Bitcoin.
Sure.
So it's a 10 millionth of a Bitcoin. So whatever a Bitcoin's worth, it's 1/10 millionth of that.
Yeah, but why 10 millionth?
That's because it's going to go to a higher value.
That's just what it's calculated at.
Because if you had a Bitcoin that was worth $1 million Bitcoin, right, then you'd only be able to divide it by 10, which would be like a dime.
Ah.
So
Community mic again.
Yeah, the Satoshi is the native unit of in the Bitcoin protocol. They have these integers representing how many Bitcoins you have in your balance, and those are denominated in Satoshi. So it's the smallest amount you can have.
So Satoshi or Bitcoin is 10 million Satoshis. It's not a Satoshi is 1/10 millionth of a Bitcoin.
I mean,
Because if the Satoshi is the base unit.
Yeah.
So we could think of the Satoshi as a penny, if we're talking about dollars.
No, it's $1 and a Bitcoin is $10 million.
Okay, fair. I thought we were talking about like, well, no, I thought, okay, no, I understand what you're saying mathematically, but I'm talking about like the lowest that we could cut our money, right? In U.S. dollar terms, it's the penny.
Yeah.
So the Satoshi is like what the penny is to Bitcoin being,
Yeah.
right? Okay, yeah, that's what I meant, not mathematically speaking. Okay, so there we go, Mr.
yeah.
Satchel. To answer your question, that is what a Satoshi is.
today I learned.
I'm pretty sure that
Me
there are people
too.
out there who are also answering or asking and getting answered the same questions.
Learned a lot of stuff today.
So another thing that I wanted to bring up about this week and the volatility of the market is that, remember, Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency and as the blockchain is distributed around the world, it's fairly reasonable to say that it's, I hate using the word unhackable, but it's very difficult to attack it that way. Am I correct to say that or no? It's very difficult to attack it technically. So I think the problem now is that if you can get to the psychology, or if you can get to the psychology behind the people who are trading Bitcoin or buying Bitcoin, buying and selling, I would say that would be one attack vector. As you can see here, you have the insider trading problem, and then you have people who are quickly losing value, or they see the price drop, they get emotional about it, it plays on their emotions, they dump their Bitcoin, and that would affect the price of the cryptocurrency.
Absolutely.
So instead of it being hackable, we could say that we could make a play for psychology to affect the price.
Well, the same thing happens in the political betting markets as well. You know, somebody posts up in some article they found in Politico, and next thing you know, that stock is just tanks, or shoots all the way up to 90 cents.
I'd like to talk about that next, actually.
Okay.
So again, the only reason why I wanted to talk about the Bitcoin volatility is because it was a major swing. And for those of you who have opened up second mortgages on your houses to buy Bitcoin, I mean, like, hey, just before the show started, Vic was saying that in 3 months it might bounce back and add some. But until then, you now have a second mortgage on a if you bought your Bitcoin at 19,000 and it's now down about 14.
Yeah,
or
I think
2 of 14.
I think it's one of those things where you just have to not freak out. You just have to like hang on to it, and it will eventually gain that value back. You just have to not freak out and like, oh my God, it lost value, I'm selling it.
Yeah, as an investment, you
Well-
got to look at it like really long time frame.
And how many companies now have been accused of insider trading when it comes to Bitcoin? I mean, so many places have been shut down because the CEOs either absconded with the money or, in Coinbase's case, was accused of insider trading.
Well, with insider trading specifically, I think it's only been Coinbase. But as far as like, companies getting hacked because of bad security or things of that nature.
Skullduggery in general.
Yeah, there have been, I guess, quite a few now. Well, you mentioned a couple of weeks ago that Steam has stopped supporting it because of the volatility.
Yeah.
So that brings up another question, though. The volatility of this, of the cryptocurrency, of Bitcoin, does it make it a viable way to buy and sell goods? I know that it's a service or it's a type of technology used for transactions, but if places like Steam
not
stop
merchant transactions.
Yeah.
They're merchants aren't going to be willing to take a risk on, like I gave the example of my double cheeseburger thing before. They're not going to be willing to take a risk on the customer buying a game with this many Bitcoins worth this much, and then 2 days later, the Bitcoin price has quadrupled, and now Steam owes the customer money because they overpaid for the game.
Well, why would they owe them money though?
They have this refund policy thing.
Oh, that's the worst.
So it's like, and I feel like as a commodity it works well, but the moment that merchants try to step in and try to handle transactions using Bitcoin, it gets really muddy and murky, and it's territory that nobody really wants to go into.
Well, it is definitely going to be interesting to see where this goes, how this goes. Again, I'm slightly invested. I'm not putting a lot in, but I did that so that I'm forced to pay attention to it. Like I was talking to the one doing the Fozzie Hour earlier, is in order to pay attention to a market, you have to put some sort of skin in the game in order to really, it's make it important for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yes, I have bought the major currencies that are offered on Coinbase, and I'm paying attention to it. I opened that app a couple of times a day. So, any last comments before I want to talk about what you were mentioning, Satchel?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Then
Hit me.
we'll go to that. It's still market related. So, can you explain this political betting? Or sorry, that's not the proper term for it.
It's not betting at all. What it
No.
is,
Okay.
not at all. No. What it is.
Wait,
is
what's it called?
It's should I just say the name? I mean, they're not sponsors. Predictit.org.
No, okay.
I will not say that.
Okay. Well, they're not sponsors,
They're not sponsors.
but I want to know what this is because I
Okay.
didn't know about this until today.
It's totally not betting. What you're doing
It's
is
totally not betting.
not betting. You're paying money for shares in a predicted outcome. And if that outcome happens, then your share is worth $1. Now, you might have paid 20 cents for it. You may have paid 90 cents for it. That's depending on how sure the market in general is that a thing is or is not going to happen. It's predict it. Yeah.
We have a fact.
Which I'm totally not saying because they're not a sponsor. But yeah, that's the one. But basically, and if, of course, the outcome does not happen, then you get nothing. Good day, sir. But it's totally not betting. You're just paying money based on the, in hopes of getting more money based on a future outcome. Totally not betting. It's
how long-
totally betting.
How long has this been around?
I have no idea. I have heard about it for a while, but I didn't even know it was open to people that lived in America. But it is now.
But it's a high thing. I forgot what I was going to ask.
Apparently.
You know what? By the way, I haven't had alcohol, so that's probably the problem.
What is wrong?
I just so I'm on the website, and I just like how on the predictit.org, the one person on the left side of the spectrum is Mark Zuckerberg
Well, really?
for
Oh,
who will win presidential race in 2020.
Yep.
actually, there's some information on that I would totally see why he's on the left side there. Okay, so you don't know how long this has been around.
No, I do not.
Have you? Okay, I don't know if you want to share this. Have you tried this?
Oh yeah.
How is it? Is it cool?
Well, yeah. No, I made a whole. I don't want to say a whole bunch of money. I put in $40 on the Alabama election, made 60 above and beyond
Your original investment.
my original investment.
Okay.
Yeah. So, more than doubled my money.
Nice.
That's interesting.
And then I turned around on that and bet again when they started talking about, oh, they're going to do a recount. And then I bet on that and watched the stock price go up and then just sold it all.
So as you
Did you bet on there was going to be a recount?
No. When they said, hey, we're going to do a recount, I put money back onto Roy Moore. And then
Really?
everybody's like, oh, Roy Moore's going to take it because the other guy got it. And then I just watched the market go up a few pennies and just sold all that and made like $10.
I'm interested in this. This is
It's
really
fun,
cool.
man.
Well, as you can tell, there's a market for everything.
Oh, I've got ideas.
You said,
Oh, he's gonna write a bot that's like some sort of high frequency trader, or yeah.
It's more invest and create terror.
So yeah, okay.
So you could just shit post your way into wealth. Yeah.
yes, absolutely, yes, you can.
You could say this is going to happen, then you just start making it look like it's going to happen in the media and on social media, and people would kind of get antsy.
You will not be the first.
If you're telling them what they want to hear,
You
they'll
will
believe it.
absolutely not be the first. That is, it is.
Our
with
system
shitposting.
is totally not hijacked or anything.
No, well, yeah. Our regular system's
Not-
already hijacked from the get-go.
Not by any organized party, of course.
Oh yeah, this is all just a thing on the
It's
side.
just random acts of weirdness.
That's weird, huh?
Yeah.
It's always weird how just enough Democrats go over to the other side in order to give everybody tax cuts and wars and stuff. That's
How could that simplistic thing be a conspiracy? It's,
okay.
Anyway,
So
sorry.
no. Okay, we're not gonna make this political, but I
we're
will.
not,
Say,
we're not.
I know. But I will say, it is very, very interesting how there are a lot of suicides lately after those emails. You've heard about those?
Actually, I haven't. Who? What happened?
Oh God, I gotta pull it up. It's
No.
This is a strange discrepancy on the site. Sorry, I'm going through it because it's very interesting, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
wait, what kind of
But-
description are you talking about?
So so GOP Senate seats after the midterms, less than 49 is currently the more expensive one, meaning that a lot more people think that.
Over under. Yeah.
However, who will control the Senate after 2018? The Republican one is
Right.
the more answered one. That's strange. Weird
And also,
discrepancy.
they've got Mitch McConnell favored to be the Senate Majority Leader.
That's super weird.
It is weird.
All right, this is not a political pocket, but yeah, you know what I mean. You know
No,
what I mean.
we're observing this from a
Yeah.
market standpoint
Yeah.
because apparently there's a market for this shit.
Well, here's another thing.
Okay, so weird middle of the show disclaimer. All of our holiday episodes always kind of just are a grab
That's
bag
true.
of topics.
No, that is true. We fuck around.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make this a serious podcast. I'm like, wait a minute, it's fucking Christmas.
Yeah. No, but I
We should be halfway off the rails
it's
by now.
super weird that they think that that GOP will have fewer than 49 seats, but they also think that the Republicans will control the Senate.
There's things to exploit in there
It
for
doesn't
sure.
make any sense.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people not in the United States betting.
Probably.
We got a comment
Yeah.
from the audience saying that there's a lot of people potentially there's a
Yeah,
lot of people betting that are not
You
in
can
the
market
United States.
anywhere, or you can place a bet anywhere in the world.
That's really wait. So since it's all around the world, can you bet on other?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just United States.
Yeah.
Ooh, balls.
Do you want to bet on Putin getting reelected?
Yeah, I'll take the
What
under.
do you,
I'm kidding.
No, look that up. I'll bet you anything it's at like 98%. 98 cents.
99.
Of course. Boom.
We live in democracy after
should not
after
vote against
Soviets.
Yeah.
That was my horrible accent. All right. What else can you bet on? Shit.
Man, and everything.
Let's
German
bet.
Chancellor in 2017.
Wow, really?
Will Germany spend 2% on NATO in 2017
Will we?
If probably.
of GDP? I think.
Will we leave the UN? I want to.
Will we just tell NATO to you're on your own?
Is that on there?
Oh, I have no idea.
U.S. recognize Catalan. Will the U.S. recognize Catalan
Oh,
independence?
that's got to be.
Hey,
like
you're
one of-
Catalan.
Majority is no.
Yeah, I would say like that's 2%.
Oh yeah, that's because Spain's like no,
Yeah,
no.
the best will Trump recognize Catalan? And it's like, I've never met him. I don't know.
I can't say the word. I can't say the word. I don't know what it means.
Whatever she said, it's not true.
Wrong.
Wrong. Well, as you can see, there's a market for everything. So I want to dive into that. Damn. What were you laughing at?
No.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's
You can even bet on Trump's approval rating, but the ranges are really low.
yeah. It's either from 37.1 to 37.4 or from 36.7 to 37.0.
No, those are just the top ones.
Those are the top ones. Sorry. Thank you.
You can 36.6 or lower is also on there.
What's the highest one? The highest one is 37.9 or higher.
Okay. So off topic, but kind of
Yes.
on topic because you mentioned 37%, and that just kind of jumped out at me because
Okay.
I've been working with a few numbers this week. So backstory.
I work with numbers.
Yeah. No. Okay. Not off topic. Remember, this is a grab bag episode.
Go for it.
Okay. My office. Okay. We used to have one bathroom among 24 people.
That's not right.
No. So hold on. Let me explain.
You guys are so lucky.
Yeah. Well, thanks there, Vic. No, so a long time ago, I did statistics, or I did the probability that somebody would be in the bathroom when you wanted to use the bathroom. So I sourced it on The Scotsman, and there was another site, but I wanted to find the other site. I can't find it anymore. But on average, people spend about 15 minutes in the bathroom per day. Okay, and I'm not talking about like showering. I'm talking about like using the facilities, the toilet. Okay, 15 minutes per day. So I figured, okay, let's say average you have 8 hours of sleep. That leaves 16 hours. Okay, you're only at the office 8 hours a day. So of the 15 minutes, you cut that in half. You're talking about 7.5 minutes.
Okay.
Right? 7.5 minutes against 24 employees is about 180 minutes, 3 hours. Okay, so those 3 hours against an 8-hour workday gave me about a 37.5% chance that somebody will be in the bathroom when you're trying to use the bathroom.
Right.
Okay, Well, recently we've opened up to a bigger office. Now we have 2 bathrooms. Same amount of employees, but 2 bathrooms. So there's a chance. Now, the funny thing is, I wanted to redo these statistics because, again, I tried to use the bathroom. One was used. Oh, no problem. I'll go to the other one. And that was used. So I was like, okay. Again, we have 24 employees and 2 bathrooms. Now, 2 bathrooms, that's 37.5% that one is used, but it's also 37.5% that the other is used. So if I multiply those together, I get about a 14% chance that both of them will be used when I'm trying to use the bathroom. So I haven't shared that with the employees yet, but that's what I calculated.
There's 2 things that you're not taking into account with your calculations: breakfast and lunch.
Yeah. Well, no, actually.
Because there are going to be rushes at certain times, is what I'm saying.
Right. So I want to.
Is 15 minutes the national average, or did you take a poll at the office?
Bow chicka bow.
No, it's the national average.
You should sit outside the bathroom with the stopwatch and time people.
No, I don't
That
want to
won't
get
be weird
that.
at
I
all.
think that's a little bit more personal. I'm trying to pick averages to not, do not single anybody out.
Motion sensor camera, maybe?
Yeah.
Rig up the motion sensor
There
to
you
a
go.
timer.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
You'll have to have face recognition or give everybody special bracelets.
No, they all have cell phones. You can track their.
Yeah, track their cell signal or
Yeah.
their cell phone.
Just set up.
Oh, like have a constant wireless survey and just see when the.
No, you can do it with Bluetooth.
Oh, we're getting way too technical now.
You just have a laser pointer, right, on the back wall, like a little laser sensor or whatever, pointed at the mirror that's most likely on the other side, of the room.
I mean,
so when the door opens, it hits there, and you count 1.
You should go up to the CEO and tell him give you 2 weeks and you could set this whole thing up.
You guys, I'm not trying to get that invested in it. I thought it was interesting.
Sounds like you're pretty deep already. I don't know.
Well, if I try
Well,
to go to the bathroom.
I mean, it's
Well,
pretty
you can also
deep in it.
track
Math was
peak
involved.
times.
He took
Yeah.
a poll.
Okay.
The real thing you need to know here is when's peak time.
When
Well, he said breakfast and
Breakfast
lunch.
and lunch.
When-
Well,
when a
what is that, an hour before, hour and after, 15, 20 minutes? What are we talking about? Coffee in the morning?
Well, no.
What?
So
I mean, when
Well, I'd
when
say
a
about-
conversation starts with bathroom and ends with 14%, you're pretty invested at that point.
hold on.
Does that happen a lot? Because you got a rule for that. That's weird.
No, hold on. Okay. Now,
I have a lot of rules.
Okay.
with everything that
Hey.
you guys have mentioned, I could argue that what I've calculated is a baseline. Now, there
Okay.
are other factors, right? So, like, are there meetings? Are there meetings that certain people are in it and certain people are not? That changes, of course, the statistic.
A stand-up every day.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So there is a stand-up every day, and for one of the departments, and that can go on anywhere from like 15 to 30 minutes, actually. Well, that's a different story. But during that time, the people who are not in that meeting would then be calculated to see what those percentages are that they would be in the restroom at the time that I would want to use the restroom. So that is definitely where I could take it. But I'm not going to be so invested that I'm going to build some apparatus to, clock in and clock out of the bathroom. That's just not what I'm going to do.
What if we construct a rudimentary lathe?
You know what,
Galaxy
though?
Quest.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised though because I'm at a hackerspace. I'm at a makerspace.
Well, sure.
Hey, you could just use the laser cutter to do this and this. And,
Oh man, I love Galaxy Quest.
Right?
Anyway,
Can you construct a rudimentary lathe?
I just found that to be
I got an
interesting.
idea. This is gonna be great.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
No. So that's all I wanted to say. Is I thought it was interesting, and this is the grab bag episode.
Skim statistics. Hooray! And poop.
I thought, well, not poop specifically.
Well,
just-
I mean,
Oddly, poop conversations are statistically higher in my normal conversations.
man, I hear you.
Poop topics.
I don't know why.
Yes.
It comes up a lot at where I work.
Poop topics.
Yeah, I don't.
well, because we're not usually live when you're talking about that.
Fair enough.
Why am I being so conservative in my speech today? Oh, geez, I need
Because
alcohol.
it's the Christmas in us.
It's the Christmas in us, yeah.
Yeah.
I have 4 days to be good for Santa Claus so that I get something under the tree besides the lump of coal that I got at your ugly sweater
Yeah.
party.
Chen got third place at the ugly sweater party and
Womp
won a
womp.
lump of coal.
When I was a kid, my dad thought it would be funny. He worked for the power company in St. Louis. He thought it'd be funny to get me an actual lump of coal. I was 8. I was devastated. I
Were
thought
you
that's
mad, sad, or more like resentful?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
All of those things.
Well, it's really more than just. It means like you've been really bad.
Right.
You know, it's not that you just got a lump of cold. It means that I was so bad. This happened to me.
This happened to me. Right. Exactly.
Sorry.
I've
wait,
been betrayed.
Sorry. When I think of people saying, "Ooh, I've been bad," I think of like, you know,
No,
"Ooh,
not
I've
like
been
I was
bad."
8, man.
You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, but I'm talking about like if you're talking about like dirty talk, it's like, "Ooh, baby, here's your lump of coal." Anyway, sorry, that's where my mind went.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, just.
I'll have to try that. I never.
It's an interesting approach. I got to give you that.
I mean, think about it. Like, if you're talking about like Christmas sex, it's like, "Ooh, girl, you've been bad.
Here's
Here's your lump of coal."
Lump of coal. Huh? Is that what you call it? Huh?
And with that, are you guys ready for the lightning round?
Well, are we still we're gonna ignore
Oh
Russia?
shit! No,
no.
sorry, you got to remind me of this shit,
I
man.
just did.
Okay, what's up?
So Russia.
We
Well,
didn't
no.
talk about. Okay, we didn't talk
So-
about this last week.
Yeah.
Largest country in Europe, also Asia.
Also, where for no apparent reason, about a week and a half ago, a lot of Google's traffic was routed through.
The BGP. It was
The
BGP routed.
Yeah, BGP routed through.
Hmm.
So, why?
Better question is how.
How?
Do you have any
Do you
speculation
think-
on
you
that,
think
Vic?
there would have to be some sort of configuration at Google, right?
Yeah. It would have to be a very large router that was misconfigured.
Are we talking about like
Misconfigured.
misconfigured or like air quotes misconfigured?
Sure.
Hey Jimmy, what's this reset button on the side of the Juniper do?
Don't touch it. That puts everything to Russia.
Whoopsie doopsie.
Yes, it happened just like that.
Yeah.
Total reenactment right there.
Yeah, there we go. That's an accurate depiction.
Yeah, somebody at Juniper is like, "Hey, so what do you think when we push the reset button? What should the defaults be? I don't
Send it to
care.
Russia.
I don't give a shit. Send it to Russia. Fuck it."
Wait. So how long was this redirect?
That's a great question that I don't have the answer for.
All right. Well, while you look that up, so you have no insight on?
No,
Just kind of a
just
happen.
Nobody's really given a good explanation.
And actually, since that story broke last week, nobody's really talked about it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. It kind of disappeared really quick. It was only for 6 minutes, but I mean, they were large
How
chunks.
many?
Large-
Here's my Google search.
Large chunks of network traffic belonging to MasterCard, Visa, and more than 24 other financial services. They were briefly routed through a Russian government-controlled telecom, also under suspicious circumstances. Yeah.
So 6 minutes, you said, right?
Yeah.
How many seconds is that? What's 60 times 6? 360?
Mhm.
So
3600.
360.
Wait. Sorry. Go ahead.
360 times 40,000. That's how many searches were processed by Google on average in those 6 minutes.
But it wasn't
How
just
much?
Google. It was
Oh no! Wait, no. Sorry. 40,000 times. Oh no! Yeah, 60 times 60. 3,600.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
knew I
you're
was right.
You were right. You were right.
You want to know how I know I was right? UDP timeouts for VoIP. I was like, wait a minute, 360. That doesn't sound right.
How
It's
many
usually
people can
3600.
use the bathroom during those 360?
So
During a VoIP call.
So that's 144 million searches
Jeez.
were
So
during
during that
that
Russia-
outage? Or not
yeah,
outage, but
144
redirect.
million people had their searches, or millions. 144 million searches were redirected to Russia.
But see, it's not just that though. It was Google, Facebook, Apple, and Microsoft.
Oh,
Oh,
That's a big-
you
that's-
sounded like Ray Romano.
that's a big.
Oh,
Oh,
That's a
Deborah.
Deborah. That's a big.
Nobody
Juniper
knows who the
router.
hell we're talking about.
That's
Yeah.
a big Juniper router.
yeah. I don't know if it's just one.
Well, I don't think anything's going to be mentioned about that story anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Satchel. Unless
Yeah.
you have any comments on that, I have no idea.
I think it's not only weird that it happened in the first place, but it's double weird that no one seems to be concerned about that. Because you should probably be concerned about that if all of your things can be suddenly rerouted to another country. I don't even care what that country is. It could be Canada. But just all of a sudden,
Well, here's your traffic, sorry.
hey, we found some extra packets, eh?
Here, have some Timmies to go along with it for your inconvenience.
Get Toonie for your trouble.
Have a good day, bud.
Dude, if Fox watches this, she's going to be like, you sons of bitches.
We're real sorry.
All right.
To be
now
fair,
is-
Fox does not sound like that.
No.
She sounds like that with a French accent.
Oh God.
I'm kidding.
No, you're right though.
I keyed.
No, just when it's only the French words. Then she puts on the full French accent. Anyway,
Yes.
I'm not talking shit. We love you, Fox. All right. Are you guys ready for the lightning round?
Yes.
All right. Who's gonna go first?
Do it.
Seth.
Shit.
No, Vic.
Okay, Vic will go
He's
first
like,
for
yeah.
the lightning round. All right. So for those of you who do not know, we are going to browse over to InfoSecurity magazine. Sorry, that's infosecurity-magazine.com. That'll be tonight's source.
So you browse.
She surfs.
Fox surfs.
What do you
I
do?
guess I'd saunter.
I cruise.
Really? You saunter online?
I saunter over to infosecurity-magazine.com.
I can imagine you
Slash the
sauntering over.
news.
Yeah, okay, great. All right, so we are going to browse over to
Slide right into that
infosecurity-magazine.com. We will read you the headlines of the latest security news, and then we'll formulate a tweet's length, which is now 260 characters, so it doesn't matter. But this is the lightning round, so let's try to make it quick, which never happens anyway. Again, we want to tell you what's going on, sort of, but we want you to do your own research and you to come up with your own opinion. We're not going to tell you how to think. All right, are we ready for the first one?
Ask me the questions, Bridgekeeper. I am not afraid.
All right, well,
What is the airspeed velocity of
it's going to Vic first, so here we go.
Or European.
I don't know. What?
All right, printer spoofing campaign installs espionage bent backdoors inside the Enterprise. Like the Enterprise Star.
Inside of an enterprise.
It said the Enterprise.
The enterprise?
Yes, it used the.
You can pivot through printers now?
It's attacks through Canon, HP, and Epson printer and scanner email attachments.
Wow.
Yeah, but couldn't you turn a printer into a torrent anyway? Like
So-
a torrent server? Like
So
you-
the Enterprise is still like any Enterprise.
Oh, I
situation.
see why. Okay, the headline is
Yeah.
kind of weird. I thought they were
It's-
talking about Star Trek. Like printers on the Enterprise.
This has been a serious hazard for quite a while. This isn't
Okay.
new. It's just like been escalated a little bit.
So I'm gonna do for the very first time an actual serious lightning round post.
Whoa.
Printers are the devil. They've been putting little teeny tiny yellow dots for like what 20 years or something like that.
Yeah. As
On-
soon as they came up with the first color printer.
Yeah, every time you print anything, it prints its name, like its serial number and information that identifies the printer in very light yellow dots.
Really? They didn't tell me that in the A+. Really?
Yeah, everything that you print.
Everything, especially the high resolution colors, anything that can go over 1,200 dots per inch on a color.
Yep.
And yeah, they print all that. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Printers are the devil, man.
Yeah.
The
I
end.
guess all I'll say is, oh, brother, because brother printers were not listed among the vulnerable.
Okay. Awesome. Are you guys ready?
There's a reason for that.
Oh, jeez.
No one uses them.
They don't make enterprise solution level printers.
Oh, I see.
Oh, snap. Or should I say, oh, brother. Oh, no, okay. All right, next one. Here we go. Venus Locker switches tactics from ransomware to Monero mining.
Oh, they make Enterprise printers.
What's Monero mining? Do we know?
It's an e-coin.
Oh, and like all they're doing is mining coin on your
Sure.
So they
That's
on
all
your-
they're doing.
on your
I
equipment.
don't want to skip.
Sure. That's all they're doing. They're just mining on your equipment.
That's all. No big deal.
That's
Oh.
what. I mean,
He's good. He's fine. Don't worry.
Matter of fact.
So, let's see. I can't believe they actually go and put ransomware on a Venus Locker. Venus Locker. Sorry, never mind. Never mind. Thought it was a chastity belt thing.
Okay.
This Internet of Things, man, it's going too far.
Yeah.
Too far, man. I don't need an app
Venus
for
Locker.
that.
Venus.
Venus Locker. Sorry.
So I guess
Sorry.
they weren't making enough money from their ransomware that now they're just going to hijack people's computers to start Bitcoin mining.
Fuck it, we'll do it for you. You're not mining, we'll do it.
okay, we're doing it in production.
Fuck it, we'll do it on your production. All right, next one. Let's see. Malvertizing? Wow, that's a new buzzword.
That's hiding malware inside of banner ads and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's just buzzwords, man. I got to keep up with them. All right, Malvertizing sees an unlikely dip in Q3.
Click here to remove adware.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Malvertizing. That's the only way Serenity is ever coming back. Firefly.
No,
Firefly.
they couldn't. They can't. He's dead.
Who?
Most of them.
Bullshit. No, Mal's still alive.
Spoilers for a 2001.
Yeah.
No, Wash
first
is
of all-
dead.
Wash is dead.
Wash is dead. Yeah.
Yeah, but not Mal.
I think spoilers should only be like a 2-year
Yeah.
maybe thing.
Yeah.
Like if you haven't seen it after 2 years and you're complaining about spoilers,
Yeah.
like fuck you, go watch it.
Wash says leaf on a wind and then dies horribly.
It's supposed to be a Disney ride, 'cause
Yeah.
Disney owns Firefly now.
Oh, that's right.
Disney bought Fox, so they own Firefly now.
Right.
Yeah.
It could come back.
So,
Well, it also means they own the Alien franchise as well.
So I've seen
Which
that.
makes
Yeah, that's right.
AV Firefly. Oh,
which
Oh yes. So it makes Ridley a Disney princess.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that meme. I've seen that meme.
I thought you were going there. I was like,
I want to see Aliens versus Firefly. So I don't know why it's unlikely with more people using what's the thing that I use on my Pi?
Pi-hole.
By Pi-hole.
Oh, yeah.
Most people using switching to Pi-hole or at least installing some sort of ad block. That doesn't surprise
pretty
me.
sure most people are
Yeah.
actually like, I have no idea what that is. I get a lot of banner ads, though.
That's true. Like when we say most people, we got to remember that
Yeah.
we're technical.
Yeah.
I get freaked out on normal networks. It's like I have mine so locked down. It's like I go somewhere else and like, holy crap, what's this?
You go to a website that for example, Reddit. You go to a website like Reddit that you've gone to all the time, and you're so used to how it looks, and then you go to it on somebody else's computer. You're like, why are there so many ads? What's going on?
What did I click on? You get
What
worried
website
because
is
you
this?
see
So
all
you
this
look at the
stuff.
address bar, go
Drives
back
me
and forth.
crazy.
Did I how many D's did I put in Reddit?
I could imagine Vic like seeing a commercial for like the first time in months. He's like, holy fuck,
No.
guys, it's a commercial or it's an advertisement.
I only see commercials now when I'm out somewhere and
yeah.
the TV's on.
Don't
Yeah.
you feel assaulted by them?
Weird, yeah.
It's just how they talk to people.
Yeah.
What's this car ad doing in the middle of my TV show?
No, I find like how the advertisement, like how they actually like try to talk to their audience, right?
Yeah.
Is like, really? That's what you're going to say to me?
Yeah. Like, hey, you're 5. You'll believe this. Here.
Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot this was lightning.
Oh, yeah, lightning.
No,
yes.
I actually forgot. All right, are you guys ready for the next article?
Do it.
All right, here we go. Experts rail against internet password organizers. I'm guessing they don't like KeyPass.
No. They're talking about like a physical Rolodex that you give to somebody, and on it says username blank, password blank for them
Bullshit.
to write.
That's a
and
thing?
like website. Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
Well,
Seriously?
It's a password trapper.
Yeah.
Okay. Like a cat trapper keeper?
Yeah, pretty much like just a Rolodex.
I wasn't sure if that's where you're going.
Yeah, I actually because I didn't know what that was, so I clicked on the link ahead of time.
They have those? Like a password Rolodex?
I've never heard of
says- It says security experts have warned consumers against buying their loved ones' username password organizers this Christmas, as it encourages poor security practice.
Yeah.
Duh.
Well, they can't see it through the computer. It's safe
I-
on your desk.
I mean,
Well, it encourages
Well-
everybody to have unique passwords per site because they can just look it up, right?
Well,
Yeah.
you should also put all your passwords on Post-it notes and under your keyboard. Then
Yeah, but you can lock the little box
Nah.
that's in the you can
Dude,
lock the Rolodex.
The
Scanning for
level of
sarcasm.
sarcasm right now is just blowing my mind.
okay.
Remember,
All right.
I'm not good with sarcasm, so at first I'm like, wait.
You're
Wait.
not serious,
And
right?
then when BGM said writing passwords and taping them under your desk, I was like, no, that's fucking bullshit. Thank you, BGM. For a second, Vic almost had me there.
there's an Amazon's Choice for one of these.
You can have it here by Christmas.
Yeah,
Oh, well, there you go.
it's only $7.
Grandma's gonna love it. Comes in big font.
My guess is it's supposed to be an estate planning thing, so that when you die, people can get into all of your accounts.
Well, I actually have a Deadman switch on my Google account, which is tied into a couple of things, not like everything, but a couple of things. And the Deadman switch actually transfers my Google account over to the Chen.
You call me the Chen?
The Chen.
The chin.
Over
First
to
of all-
the Chen.
While I am honored, I question your air of responsibility. I mean, like,
Well, if I don't log into my Google account after 6 months, like if I'm inactive for 6 months, it
Delete
assumes
his
I died,
browsing history.
and it gives him access.
I
to
know,
all
but
this
that's what I'm saying. He's going to give me the responsibility. I'm like, what do I do with this thing?
stuff. Just read all my emails.
The only thing you
I
have
want
to
a
do,
slideshow of all my emails at my funeral.
the one thing you absolutely have to do is delete his browsing history.
So
Got to
Yeah,
do it.
I mean, that's number one.
Yeah.
yeah, but you won't. You'll have to wait for the funeral for at least 6 months.
Well, put me on ice.
What?
I'm not going to put you on ice. I'm sure that would taste terrible. Oh, sorry, cannibal joke. All right, next one. Here we go. All right, Nissan Canada data breach. 1.1 million customers notified. Okay.
The amount of times they said sorry was off the charts. Sorry.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
You know,
Hey,
what?
sorry
There's a
about
lot
that,
of
Frank.
Canada in the news for the week after, Fox has left.
Yeah, what's up with that?
All right, let's make this the last one. How's
Okay.
that, guys? Ready? Actually, let's do 2 more.
Okay, 2 more.
2 more. All right. Singapore Airlines warns of new phishing campaign. Okay.
Vishing? What is? That's a new term for me.
No, that's voicemail phishing.
Oh,
It's
I see.
like, or calling the person and being like, "Hey, see, I can totally pass the Security Plus exam."
Why is it a separate thing? I thought it was all phishing.
Phishing is a subset of social engineering, I would argue, but whatever.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, phishing.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Phishing, social
Yeah.
engineering. Well,
Well,
same.
somehow they got a list of their customers.
Yeah.
There's more data there. They're giving away something.
Mhm.
It's like all of a sudden, hey, they might know how to call you or email you. We don't know how that happened.
I
But,
like
but
how
if somebody says they're us, it's not.
I like how the tagline says the fraudsters are even spoofing the carriers' phone numbers, as if that's difficult.
Oh my goodness!
Download an app.
I
from their
don't
app
know
store
how
do
to
it.
do that. Right, you guys?
You mean people go on the internet and tell
Remember-
lies?
There's phishing, there's vishing, and we're wishing that you take care of your security.
Ooh.
Ah.
All right. So I got one. My tweet will be since it's in Singapore, all the fish is radioactive.
Yeah, that was okay.
Sorry. Okay.
All right, last one, you guys, for the road for the night. Let's
road
see.
for the night.
For the road for the night. For the road, yeah. Let's see. North Korea begins POS attacks with new malware. Point of sales?
They need to be able to buy food. I'm sorry, I skipped.
Mr. Vic.
What?
Would you like me to reread?
Sure.
Okay. North Korea begins POS attacks with new malware.
Did they stop?
Look, just because the country's poor doesn't mean you have to insult everything they have and call it a piece of shit attack. I mean, come on. Come on, man. Be cool.
I was thinking point of sales, but yeah, it's probably a POS attack.
okay.
Like a piece of shit.
But yeah,
probably
they
point
need
sale.
money for food. I mean, of course, they're trying to steal everyone else's cash.
Well, they could.
Where would they spend it?
I have an opinion on here. They could.
Great
Maybe
Leaders
not
General Store.
Oh,
spend the
well,
resources
all
on
right.
building
Great
bombs,
Leader
but-
Avenue.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of the lightning round, which brings us to the end of the show. As you know, we have run out of time, but never out of shit to say. Might be quiet sometimes, but never out of shit to say. Anyway, it is the holidays, so we hope that whatever you're celebrating, that you do it nicely, properly. Drive
Nice.
safe. Don't drink and drive. You could drink an Uber. That'd be better. You know.
Sure.
Okay. Side note. I asked a friend of mine who works at the Clark County Jail
Okay.
if Uber has allowed the drunk tank, as they call it, to not be so full. He said no. There's still a lot of people drinking and driving.
They
Well,
don't want
that's
to spend
weird.
the extra money.
For fuck's sake, do you want to do that or spend the weekend in jail?
Do I want to do that?
Well, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking
No,
about
I
the
would
majority
I
of
would
you.
take
like,
an Uber. But,
Yeah.
you know, a lot
You
of
guys,
people-
I'm fine.
don't drink and drive. We have fucking Uber now,
I'm
okay?
fine. I can totally drive. I don't know why you're saying I can't drive. I can
I
drive.
just thought the statistic would be
Your-
lower, okay?
Your keys. Give me your junk.
You give me your drunk. I'm
Oh,
drunk.
drunk.
I'm
He said drunk.
driving.
Okay, he said drunk. All right. I thought he said something else.
Drunk.
Anyway, remember, go to synshop.org for more information on the hackerspace here in Las Vegas. 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. Go to meetup.com/synshop for information on the classes that we teach and things that are coming up in the future. And for more information on us, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.SE. One of those days, I'm going to turn that into a theme song. But in any case, my name is Master Chen.
My name is BGM.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. you.